Island also offers deep customization, giving players the chance to personalize their mind.
Stop. Alright, let me tell y'all a story. It's about once upon a time. Once upon a time, wrestling video games, they used to be so fun. I'm talking about SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, 2007, 2008. You see, the common denominator in all those games is that they were developed by a company named THQ, the glory days. However, times got a bit rough for THQ, and eventually they went into bankruptcy. So since THQ went into bankruptcy, what was going to be done for WWE games? Well, that's why I tell you, that's when a company known as 2K comes into play. And well, you see, 2K for the most part has dominated the sports gaming industry with NBA 2K, MLB. They also had other games all over the place, such as the Mafia series. They even had horror games like The Core that I even played just a couple years ago. And you see, there's nothing wrong with 2K. It's what I would like to say. You're probably wondering how 2K is always on top, releasing a video game every single year. There's gotta be a formula, right? Well, there is. It's copy and paste. You see, some of us on this planet, we lack the intelligence to know when we're getting bamboozled. So when we lack the intelligence, what do? We buy the same game every single year, copy paste. Eventually, some people, they waking up and they say, wait a minute, this is the same game as last year except a few more characters. But some people, they still haven't realized that. And that's why 2K Games is a billion-dollar company. And you know what? For basketball fans, I can't say much. However, for wrestling fans, come on 2K. You aren't fooling us, especially me. WWE 2K25 is going to be the same game it's been for the past couple years.
So I love chickens.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me take you back to a time back when life was chill. Late 2013. For Christmas that year, I received Grand Theft Auto 5 once again. That's a long story, but that was my second time receiving it and I actually played it. But I received Grand Theft Auto 5 and my brother received a video game called WWE 2K14. And well, this was the first video game that WWE had under the 2K brand. Still, to this day, one of the funnest wrestling games I ever played. I'm like, why is this game so fun? And all the other games that came after it, they feel so copy and paste. That was the thing about wrestling games back then. They felt like the things that you saw in real life, we could play inside the game. Like the ladders, special guest referees, like stuff that we had for years that weren't constantly taken out of the game. Even though the E2K14 had a stacked roster, I mean, just think about it, it's a really fun game, I have to say. However, ladies and gentlemen, here comes the interesting part. What many people don't realize is that WWE 2K14 was actually developed for one last time THQ. So that's when it explained it all. No wonder this game was so fun. The thing about 2K games is that they love simulations. Everything you see on TV is what they're going to put in the game. And the thing about that with wrestling is the stamina system. WWE 2K15 had one of the most, I mean, at the time, looking at the commercials and stuff, it seemed cool. But when they're actually playing the game, it's one of the most slowest moving games in the world. You and your opponent, you're always tired. I have to say the blood mechanics in that game is on par with WWE 2K24. You see, we gave 2K a chance. Then came WWE 2K16. That game, well, they fixed a bit of the issues from the previous year. However, all I'm gonna say is that that same game was on sale on Xbox for free. Less than a year it came out. Then came WWE 2K17. This one was my favorite because it was actually a time where me and my brother, we actually got back into wrestling. 2016, probably one of the greatest years ever for WWE. Well, at least for SmackDown. The SmackDown 2016-2017 roster, goated. And you know what? We were right. They were adding the characters. They looked at a bit more realistic and whatnot. You know, game systems in 2K, they're getting more powerful with more improved mechanics. And then along came WWE 2K18, which the menus, they were interesting, pretty cool and whatnot. However, I can't say much about WWE 2K18 because it felt, well, that's when I started to realize that these games, they're starting to feel a bit too familiar. I'm not getting the same joy that I felt from previous wrestling games. And then came along WWE 2K19. And I gotta say, I don't really have much memory of this game because I think I just bought it or whatever. And then I just couldn't force myself to play the game. It just felt copy paste. It started to feel like NBA 2K. Like, I started to question myself, how do people keep buying these games every single year? It's the same thing. And then, ladies and gentlemen, a disaster happened. WWE 2K20 is probably one of the most horrible wrestling games or any video game release ever. It was just, the engine was trash, bugs, glitches, people, the models, they didn't even look like the superstars. I don't even know if I think I bought it and I just, I don't know, for collective purposes. I have no recollection of that game. And, oh, they changed a lot of controls too. That's what I remember. I was upset about that, but I guess they're kind of like standard now. I don't wish that game on my worst enemy. Matter of fact, they didn't want to play 2K20. They went back to 2K19. But yes, WWE 2K20 was so bad that they skipped the next game to figure out a game plan, a solution to make sure nothing like that happens again. Almost 3 years later, then came along a Hail Mary. Ladies and gentlemen, WWE 2K22. An extremely fun game with cover superstar Rey Mysterio. And it was a game that was actually finally for modern gaming systems. No more hour-long loading screens. It was a breath of fresh air. All the modern superstars. Everything was fixed from the disaster known as WWE 2K20. So then we have another period. Remember how I said the game started to feel like copy-paste around 2K19? Well, yeah, this is where we're at. WWE 2K23 came out. It felt the same as 2K22. 2K24 felt the same as 2K23. It's like they add one thing or whatever, and it's the same thing. Why are we spending $120 on a game, the same game as last year except updated? And like I said, I don't think people have figured that out. I try to get games early for not spoilery purposes, but for the first time ever, I might have to wait for this game to go on sale, which is not very long. Like literally, I think people were getting 2K24 on sale for like 75% off, and I bought that game $120 or whatever, $120, and it hasn't even been a year since it released. But that's where we are now. WWE 2K25. I can tell just by looking, WWE 2K25 is the same engine from WWE 2K22. The same exact engine, the same jumping off the ropes, the same Rey Mysterio's, Alexa Bliss. This is not worth $120. No, that's what they'll make us think at first, Like I said, they throw on this one special thing or whatever, the selling point. See, in this game, they're introducing something called the Island mode. And if you're new here or new to 2K Sports, the Island is an exact replica, well, not replica, but the exact same thing, the same formula as the park from NBA 2K. You're gonna create your little avatar, run around, and just spin in VC, virtual currency. And I don't know how people are excited for this. Like, now because of this, the game is gonna be like 300 gigabytes for a mode that a lot of people, they can't afford to play. WWE, just like their tickets now, the games are getting more expensive. Everything is just expensive for no reason. This game, I think, is already at $130 last time I checked. So that's even more expensive than last year. But the problem with NBA 2K's the park is that the park, or I don't know, my career, it was like blended in or whatever. But you spend virtual currency on making your avatar or player. However, here's the crazy part. If you don't make your character correctly on my park, he's trash. He's gonna get cooked every single match or game. That was my issue, because I was like new to 2K. I was like, let me try this. And y'all know what's crazy? You spend all this money on virtual currency when you can spend it in real life. The same shoes, $100 virtual currency, just buy them in real life. So I'm trying to tell you, the same shirt. It's almost like GTA. Now I'm just curious so you spend all your money making a character or whatever, and if it's trash, how are you gonna get your VC back? See, for me, it really wasn't an issue. I'm not trying to ball, and I'm not claiming to be a big baller or nothing, but I just went ahead and spent another like $50 on VC or so. And the crazy part about this is that it was a waste of money, because the next NBA 2K game was coming out right around the corner. So it's like a game in real life opposed to the game inside the game. I don't know how to explain it. It's just unfortunate for WWE, because they're falling victim to the same issue that killed the NBA 2K franchise. Greed. I'm gonna be honest, this is a wrestling game. What on earth do you need the Island for? The Island, are we professional wrestlers? Do we have to like do 1v1s in the middle of the ring or whatever? And I just know everything. I just know the prices for everything is about to be cooked. Like, what on earth are we buying besides like our wrestling gear? What, shirts, pants, shoes? Is WWE finally collaborating with Nike or whatever? Like, can I pay Roxanne Perez to be my girlfriend? Like, what are we spending all this money on? I have no words to say except too sad to see. Like I said, they always bring something back. Whether it's This time it's intergender wrestling. I mean, the Bloodline story, that looks like it's gonna be fun. The new showcase, I wouldn't mind that. But I'm gonna be honest, the universe, I have no faith in the universe mode or my GM. I mean, my Rise, yeah, I might play that too, but look, I'm not claiming to be the Seer fish. I'm not claiming to be Seer from Dragon Ball Super. Like, I don't know how this game is gonna go, but I'm not expecting much. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, considering how big the island is gonna be, I mean, yeah, I could finally do Tiffany Stratton versus Jacob Fatu, but like, it took y'all this long. Like, why? It's like they drip feed content, like what they got from GTA. They drip feed features across every wrestling game. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the island's gonna be huge or whatever. And because it's so huge, nobody's gonna want to run everywhere. So you're gonna be like, hey, buy this freaking car or skateboard or whatever. My main issue with all of this is that I just don't want to see WWE games go down the same path as every other sports game, even Madden, the same thing every single year. That separates wrestling from any other sports in the world. Each year it was something different to look forward to. Like this year it's intergender wrestling, and who knows, it won't be taken out like next year or whatever, I don't know. But genuinely, I just want to know what happened to the game I love. That's all. But yeah, delay to get 25 next month, so we'll see what happens. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to say a little bit of my thoughts or whatever. But anyways, everyone, thanks for watching. Please take care. Till we meet again.